Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be the greatest day of your life. I have had a lot of college students reach out to me talking about their career path and the trajectory they're taking towards accomplishing a career goal. And I tell them, don't follow the herd. Do what you should do, what that's right for you. And then I get a response back, well, Doug, what does that really mean? Could you do a video on your channel about career path and achieving our career goals? I absolutely can. So let's do that. And the first thing I want to start out as saying is not everyone finds career success following the same path. Okay? I want to give you a couple of examples here. There was one woman who thought she'd become an attorney, but she failed the LSATs twice. That meant doing a brief stint at Walt Disney World, followed by 7 years selling fax machines door to door, and occasionally working as a stand-up comedian. She knew she was good at sales, but wanted to sell something she created and cared about. That woman, Sarah Blakely, I'm sure you know who she is, would eventually go on to found the global brand Spanx. And they help women feel great, and they help women to see their potential. It's a great organization, and she's a fantastic example for other female entrepreneurs. You know, also consider a young man who immigrated to the United States from Belarus with his family. Growing up, he had very little. He couldn't speak the language, and his grades were poor. He was bullied, picked on in school, and told he would never amount to anything. Now, how many of us can relate there? Yet today, that same man, Gary Vaynerchuk, serial entrepreneur, he is the chairman of VaynerX, CEO of VaynerMedia and VFriends, and 5-time New York Times best-selling author. He says those challenges allowed him to reverse engineer his success, seeing opportunity where others did not. And how many times have we talked about being aware of our current circumstance, seeing the opportunities as they present themselves to us? You're following in the same path as great entrepreneurs such as this, as we continue to move forward towards your success goals, right? And Blakely and Vaynerchuk shared the ability to adopt an often unpopular or contrarian perspective and make it work for them. In a career sense, it means they're not conforming to the conventional or practical approaches, the conventional or practical education paths, but instead seeking alternative means for career fulfillment. I got to tell you, I have a college degree, my spouse has a college degree, my kids will go to college, but I want to tell you that some of the wealthiest people I know and some of the greatest entrepreneurs and philanthropists I think I'll ever meet, some of them don't even have a high school diploma. Education is not the thing. In America, you can graduate with a PhD in economics and not know how to make a dime. Think about that. They teach you how to count money, they teach you how to save money, but when's the last time you went into a classroom where the teacher said, today I'm going to teach you how to make money? We've got to go out and find our path. We've got to go out. We've got to take on the responsibility for our own lives. And we can create any life we want. And if we want to own a business, we can do that. We just go do it. It doesn't matter where you're at from an education standpoint. I know a lot of entrepreneurs who are extremely successful. Many of them came from other countries, didn't know the language, didn't understand the dynamics of our society, yet they are serial entrepreneurs that own multiple businesses. Anybody can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. There are amazing things inside of you that are waiting to be shown to the world. And we're going to work together to define those things and to help you get what it is you want, okay? So let's talk about 5 reasons that I've been thinking about here of why we don't need to follow the common path. Because there's more than one path to success. It's, in my opinion, completely nonlinear. And while I want to point out, there is nothing wrong with the more traditional career approach. Honestly, shifting your mindset to move past any preconceived notion of what you should be doing is difficult. You know, we all grow up, and what do our parents ask us when we're a kid? What do you want to be when you grow up? And then, you know, they always try to silo us in. Boy, if we all were what we thought we were going to be when we were kids, it'd just be a world of firemen and police officers. And, you know, we've got to define our own path, not only when we're younger and become more aware, but as adults, we are our own responsibility. And what makes us happy and the path we take should be specific to us. You know, you should congratulate yourself on having the courage to create a new path that's uniquely yours, in my opinion. And if the idea of making a career shift makes you nervous, I want you to take heart. You know, maybe you're not where you want to be right now. Maybe you feel like, hey, I would be better over here. You know what? I was looking it up, and according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average person changes jobs 12 times during their career. So you're not alone. If you want to make a change or you feel that a change is necessary, many people are doing so, and that's okay, because that could be the path that leads to your future success. But I also want you to know you are exactly where you are supposed to be right now. Right now, you may just be in training for the incredible success that's going to be coming your way. Okay, so take heart. Know that where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. And if you make a change, that's just part of your path. Sometimes when we're walking down the path, there's a left turn. Well, we have to take that turn in order to continue our trajectory. So we make turns, and we take advantage of those changes and those opportunities as they come up. Remember, be aware, be open-minded. It's perfectly okay to consider other things. Even though things are under consideration, it doesn't mean we always have to make a move. Okay? And I also believe that failure and success aren't mutually exclusive. They're definitively connected, right? I mean, here's the simple truth. If you're afraid to fail, you'll never grow. Getting out of your comfort zone means you move past your fear to take risks, some of which may work out for you and some may not. And those that those that fall into the latter camp aren't mistakes, they're opportunities to learn, right? So we learn from our failures. Nobody learns anything from winning. Everybody learns something from failing, okay? So assess your failure, understand the lessons that there were to be learned within that failure, and then we don't quit. We move on. We just don't do that again. Because remember, we don't do the same crap over and over again expecting to get different results. Okay? You know, and like in Blakely's circumstance, she used her failures as fuel to keep going. Some people would call that time in my life a string of failures. But I believe that failures, in essence, is just life's way of nudging you and letting you know you're off course. That's something that Blakely had said. And by reframing failure as an ingredient of success rather than a negative alternative, you'll adjust your mindset to a more positive one where you see failures as a necessity. You know, the failures, some people believe that they are where they are today because of their failures. You know, look at, for instance, I'm trying to think of the gentleman, the gentleman that made Edison made the light bulb. And they asked him, you know, you failed 3,000 times trying to make a light bulb. Thomas Edison said, no, I found 3,000 ways to not make a light bulb. And that's perfectly fine. Every single failure he learned from, he didn't do that again. He tried something different, until guess what? He made something that changed the world. You can do the same thing with your life as well. You just, you know, we hit a roadblock, we hit a stumble, we trip a little. You know what? We stand erect and we walk forward. And that's what we do. And another thing that I think is important is trust your gut. You know, many successful business people will tap into this inner compass for guidance, making career decisions driven by instinct and a belief in themselves, even if theirs wasn't the easiest or the safest choice. Sometimes there's just something inside you that tells you this is the right move, and it turns out to be. And even Vaynerchuk admitted to making most of his business decisions on gut and intuition when he said, the bottom line really is this: you have to take chances and put yourself out there. And if you're not always going to have the data to back it up, period, not every decision is going to be safe, and that's okay. Life is about those decisions. The more you make, the more options you will have. The more options you have, the more you will grow. I think he's dead on when he says that. That's perfectly right. And because you need to play the long game, and you really do. We need to plan for the future, right? And we talk about that a lot. Making decisions. It seems like in America, everybody's always making decisions for immediate satisfaction. Successful people, we don't make our decisions based on immediate impact. We make our decisions based on the long-term perspective. We're playing the long game. And even social media has us believing that otherwise success overnight rarely happens, right? But Vaynerchuk said that too many people today lack patience in business. He also said, I push patience because I know life is long. Everybody around here is running around like it's not. 24-year-olds running around like it ends tomorrow, like they need it now. What's wrong with being 26 or 41 or 73? I talk about that too. Warren Buffett didn't make the majority of his billions until after the age of 50. So there's time for all of us, right? And we can do it no matter how old we are. It doesn't have to be now. Why not plan and give our future selves a gift? Because when you may be 24 now, but someday you're going to be 50. What do you want your life to look like then? Do you want your life to look like the happenstance of a 24-year-old's overspending habits where, credit is in disrepair, your financial circumstances a struggle? The majority, I believe it's around 75% of all retirees will depend on somebody else after the age of 65. And it's because we don't plan for the long run. And we've been talking about doing that. And I know you're not going to be in that circumstance because you're a planner. And equally important, Vaynerchuk said, is having clarity and discipline on your desired outcome. And we've talked about that as well. If you're single-mindedly focused on your long-term goal, you'll be more effective in the short term and get there faster. And it's absolutely true. If your goal is to, no matter what your goal is, as long as you're working towards that goal in a progressive nature, good things will happen to you along the path until you eventually reach your destination. Now, it happens for everybody that's extremely successful and does big things in the world. It'll happen for you too. It doesn't matter where you come from, what your circumstance is now, or what it was before. I don't give a damn about that. All I care about is where you're headed, that you've set a goal, and that you're moving in a trajectory that's going to allow you to reach that destination at a given point in time in the future. And we're working on that together, and I know you can get there because you're amazing. You have incredible abilities about you. You're smart. Hey, you look good. It's fantastic. You can do this. I know you can, and let's just keep working together on it. Finally, because taking an alternate path may inspire someone else to do it as well. Boy, sounds like something I would say, right? The journey for our career can often undergo intense scrutiny, but this attention isn't always a bad thing. Now, when you dare to use your varied experience, approach, and education to forge a unique professional path and find fulfillment in the process, you demonstrate to others that they can do it as well. Hey, when you win, you're showing those around you it's possible to win. You never know who's just hanging on by a string, and you never know when you're that string. And I tell you what, you just have no idea how the good things you're doing in your life right now is having a positive impact on those around you. You're an example, whether you believe you are or not. And others watch you. They're seeing what you do. They're seeing the positive change in you, the upright in your carriage, the smile on your face. You're thinking of ideas. You're being positive. It's making a change for others. Keep it up. Don't stop. Remember, we don't quit. And I want you also to remember that career success doesn't come in a one-size-fits-all package. If you adopt an unconventional approach, you can carve out a unique path that's yours specifically. I want you kids to not quit. You know what? You get out into the world, it's difficult. But the best thing about this world, you can be anything you want. You can have anything you want. You can do anything you want. All you have to do is take action. Taking action is the first step. And if it doesn't happen quick and you don't get immediate results, every journey that was worthwhile started one step at a time. And you know what? When you're taking one step at a time, it's a walk. And that's perfectly okay. A walk, a run, a crawl, it doesn't matter. If you have a destination you're heading towards and you're moving in that direction towards that destination, you will definitely get there. We just don't know all the things that need to occur in the world around us in order for us to get what we want. But what we do believe is we will have exactly what it is we desire. So we are not going to stop. We're going to keep moving forward. Friends, I'm going to be back tomorrow with some new things to talk about. Hey, you're amazing. You're incredible. I care about you. I believe in you. And I know you can do it. Have a fantastic day. I'll be back tomorrow, okay? Take care.